The kids, it was the most challenging for. The next group was the teachers. All teachers want to give the best to their kids. Some of them didn't know how to do technology very well. I mean, the old timers did not know. They'd grown, but not maybe to do what they are asking. And to being a kindergarten teacher and to actually teach and try to engage your students online. I mean, and you didn't have the money to produce a $5 million program. It was you know, and you didn't have all the tools that you needed. It had to be so difficult. I mean, I've talked to teachers, and you're right when you said the happiness of teaching
is just
because also they want to get these kids caught up, and so they feel responsible for not only teaching the curriculum that they're teaching today, but going back and teaching what the kids missed.
I think the Zoom factor for older kids and people has been a plus, learning how to use that, and you know, even with your doctors or whatever, teleconferences,
that's
things
true.
like that.
That is true.
I think that's a plus, and people being able to work from home, that's a plus, and not having to commute. So I mean, I think there are some good things that have come from that, but I think with the very young children,
They need to be in
need to be in the classroom.
They do, oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I was with my granddaughter because I helped her through that because my daughter had to work and her dad.
How fortunate for
I
you.
was so
Your
lucky.
daughter, yeah.
And so I did
She
it.
was.
She was in kindergarten, so when they closed in March,
Like my
I finished the
granddaughter,
year.
yeah.
And then I did the whole next year.
Wow.
That kindergarten was so, I mean,
Oh.
she was so angry at me because I was giving her
Yeah.
all the work.
Oh,
And I kept
sorry.
saying it was the teacher, and then she just didn't have that rest of that. Thank goodness, I just feel blessed that she got from at least September to March in kindergarten. But it was hard, and the teacher would say, "No, you can't come in your pajamas." You know, kids would be in their pajamas. They're sitting. And she was so excited that first day back in April.
Oh,
Because she said, now I get to see my friends. Because before she
So
really
true.
didn't know her class, she saw little squares.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She
Right.
knew her own
Oh,
friends that
I
she
know.
had in kindergarten. So
I think we have to provide some mental health support way more than what we're doing. And because as they're transitioning into regular, teaching, they still have a call. Oh, I'm sorry, a parent calls, my child came down with COVID. They're still dealing with it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is
Absolutely.
not over.
It's not over, no.
And the trauma, and I really have to say, this was a trauma for teachers. It was a trauma for children, and
Parents.
parents. And it was a trauma for,
Yes.
in every profession. Some people didn't mind working from home, but can you imagine how difficult it was for parents that are working from home, and maybe you're one of them, had kids at different grade levels. I mean, schools, I'm telling you, San Diego City, Escondido, Fallbrook, Poway, these are the ones I know. If there was they got computers to everybody, even if they didn't need them. But more importantly, they had to set up hubs for internet so these kids could connect. Some people used their school buses and put the hub and created ways that their community could log on.
What would you say, Rose? What did you say to a teacher? I mean, you became the teacher, but then your granddaughter gets mad at you because I'm the teacher.
Exactly, yeah.
But she never would have gotten mad at her teacher.
What's the difference then?
Well, because she knows I love her unconditionally. She doesn't know that the teacher loves her that way.
Parents can't be teachers.
Yeah, it's very hard. I mean, I tried to help my son in Spanish in high school. It was like, he had Spanish on Tuesday and Thursday, and those are my worst days of the week. Yeah, I think it was really hard because I have friends who still teach in Solana Beach.
Yeah.
And they were just saying, I'd call them every few weeks, how's it going? Oh, it's really hard,
Mhm.
Now I'm learning about this, the technology part of
Yeah.
it, to be able, and the really conscientious teacher wants to give the best.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I have a friend, she's very artistic, and she just missed that, being able
Right.
to discuss a painter and the kids doing it, and she was just trying to find ways. So I think, like Ellie says, that, in Solana Beach, I'm sure it's in most schools, that you're in this profession because you want to be.
Yeah.
No one said, well, this is the last resort and you have to do it.
Yeah.
And I think you just want to give your best, and it's hard
Yeah.
to give your best when you don't see the kids the whole day anyway. You're seeing them in parts because you want to meet with different groups. Of just the whole
What would
language.
you say, Michelle? I mean, I know you have a psychiatric
I
kind
think
of
you have to,
background
I mean,
too.
and this is terrible to say, but I think you have to lower your expectations.
Well, they did.
And
yeah.
go with the flow. You gotta start where the kids are and really work on their socialization skills, number one, because they haven't had any.
Right.
Try and get them back into actually socializing and listening and
Being kind to one
being
another.
kind to one another and direction part, and then realize that, hey, they missed out on a lot, and they're not gonna be able to make that all up
Right.
immediately.
Yeah.
Tell them to hang in there.
Yeah,
The
It'll
kids
get
need
better.
you.
It'll get better.
Yeah, the kids need you.
yeah.
Just
I like
love
that
them.
advice.
And you made a very interesting point that your mom made. These kids are coming in with, if they're going into kindergarten, they had no preschool. And the parents, there was no controls at home. I mean, very few parents could do what the teachers and the community, what they needed to do. They, it took us years to be skilled, and then it took us more years to learn the skill again and to control. So there's things that we could do naturally that these parents haven't had 20 years doing it.